Welcome to April 20th, 2021. This is Explore Tech Careers webinar, and we're going to focus on inclusion and diversity, programs that help people jump into the tech industry from all vantage points, from having no background, from being disadvantaged, to making a career change. So welcome. I'm Liz Jennings, host of the event today. We're halfway through Tech Month. We've been focusing April on Technology Workforce Month. You know, what are all the jobs? What are all the ways in? What are some of the training programs? And who are a few of the companies that help, and hire people in the technology area? If you haven't already, I would really love to have you go over after this webinar to careerforcemn.com/tech month. We have a lot of resources. We have a list of tech training programs. We've got a list of events coming up the rest of the month. And then we have some labor market information for the technology industry, so you can get a better sense on, the growth of it is. So please go over to careerforcemn.com/tech month. On that page, I want to point out that we have a really, really full list of 13 different job titles within the industry. It's actually at this URL you see on the screen, careerforcemn.com/top/tech-jobs-hiring-now. That's hard to say. I will put it in the chat for you after I'm done here. But you can see all of the different job titles has a tiny bit of information, a summary of what that job would entail, the typical wages that we see in Minnesota for that job title, and then a few more links to much more information about that. Also, I've highlighted it at the very bottom of each job title. It says similar job searches to try. Those will actually take you to the job database that is powered on CareerForce MN. So you can click there and it will give you some of the top jobs that companies have posted that have been looking to fill those positions. So it's a pretty neat tool that you can go there and it's just really straightforward and it'll give you a bunch of listings. For a really in-depth search, of course, go to minnesotaworks.net and then you can search by a lot more parameters. But these links will give you a quick and simple way to get to the job listings. I've got a couple of success stories. I just wanted to highlight this one here. They're all on careerforcemn.com's blog, and we highlight CareerForce success stories on a regular basis. Those of you who were on the webinar a couple of weeks ago, I had a CareerForce job counselor talk about the dislocated worker program. This is a success story from a man named Bruno who'd been working for, in a position, leasing consultant for $13 an hour, really struggling. And then COVID hit. He was laid off as a result of his layoff, the result of the pandemic. He connected with the dislocated worker staff in the CareerForce location partner, Jewish Family and Children's Services of Minneapolis. That job counselor helped him apply for the dislocated worker funding. She helped him get enrolled in a training program that works for him. And then even when he was struggling with paying some of the bills while he was attending Prime Digital Academy, she helped him find supplementary uh, funds to help pay his, groceries and rent. He graduated from Prime Digital and now he's working in a local fintech financial technology company making $67,000 a year. So kudos to Bruno for all of the hard work. And it goes to show you, some of the opportunities that the dislocated workers really can connect you with across the state. So let me know if you need more help in connecting with your local career force location to see if a dislocated worker program could help you if you're looking for a technology program. Today, I'm so happy to welcome 4 different speakers, one from Climb Higher, one from Thomson Reuters, someone from University of Minnesota Professional Studies and Continuing Education Computer Boot Camps, and someone from MinTech Association. They're all providing technology workforce training programs. They're providing leads to jobs. They've got a lot of good information on what it takes to get into the technology industry. So I'd first like to just jump right in and introduce Erin Henderson of Climb Higher. Erin, I see you on the call. Go ahead.
Thank you, Liz. And can everybody hear me okay?
Yep.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. Appreciate being here and thank you for the time today. I'm here to talk about an exciting organization, upskilling organization, Climb Higher. My name is Erin Henderson and I am the Director of Outreach and Admissions for Climb Higher. And here at Climb Higher, we're looking to create a growing community of career seekers looking to break out of jobs and into careers in the tech industry, right? Breaking out of jobs and into careers is crucial for us because we understand that without jobs, there's not with just a job, there's not much upward mobility. We want to help folks find careers. So we are deeply rooted in the understanding that talent is evenly distributed. There's talent everywhere we look, but opportunity is not, right? And so what we want to do is try to support and train overlooked and hidden talent through our unique curriculum that looks to develop your technical skills coupled with your soft skills while also helping you develop a professional network. And so I really want to emphasize that emphasis on professional network because your professional network is going to be your ability to find opportunity. According to LinkedIn, you are 9 times more likely to find a job through a referral than you would otherwise. And with that being a reality, we understand that social capital is extremely crucial for folks to find opportunity. And so this is how we help hidden talent find opportunity. So you probably heard the phrase, it's not what you know, it's who you know. At Climb Higher, I like to say, we're going to teach you what to know and who to know, right? And so with this slide that you're looking at here, this is a snapshot of the folks that we serve, right? So we're looking to work with young adults who, with or without a college degree. We understand that a college degree is not a determining factor for somebody's capabilities or abilities. So we have various educational understandings in our cohorts. And so whether you went to community college, no college at all, or have a college degree, we are open to all folks. Our climbers have some work experience, so you do not have to be currently employed to join our program. We have folks working full-time, part-time, or unemployed, right? And then, our cohorts consist of about 90% plus folks from communities of color. Because again, when we're talking about overlooked and hidden talent and the lack of diversity in the tech industry, this is the community that really needs our support. And this is what our cohorts reflect. So if we can go to the next slide, please. So what is it that we teach, right? So I talked about the hard skills and the soft skills, right? So the hard skill that we teach at Climb Higher is our Salesforce Administrative Learning track, right? And the reason that we teach Salesforce is because 99 of the top Fortune 100 companies utilize Salesforce, with 150,000 companies using Salesforce's cloud-based solutions. And so we know that this is a hard skill that is extremely applicable to a lot of tech jobs, right? Climbers who have gone through our Salesforce Administrator Learning track have gone on to do, customer success associate, business analyst, Salesforce administrator, just to name a few of the roles that have spawned out of our learning track. And so the mastery of Salesforce is really, again, like I said, opening doors to a lot of opportunity for entry-level career positions. The climbers who come through our program are coming in making below livable wage and are leaving making 2 to 3 times wage gains with room to grow, right? And so that is really due to our components and what we teach to make sure that these are starting salaries that are 3 times what folks are coming in the door with the opportunity to grow. These jobs that I mentioned are paying about $60, $70, $80,000 starting salary. All right. So very, very important jobs, but again, opportunity for you to get your foot in the door, entry level, and move up. And if we can go to the next slide, please. So the components that I spoke about are as follows, and really this is the secret sauce to how we've gotten the results that we've got. The Salesforce learning track is taught through what we call a flipped classroom, where essentially you are going to be learning about 150 hours of online technical skills on our Salesforce platform. These classes are taught in the evening because we understand that folks are coming into our program as working adults or going to school. So we want to make sure that we're accommodating a working person's schedule. So having these classes in the evenings have been most ideal for our climbers. Coupled with that hard skill of Salesforce, we're also teaching the soft skills, doing a lot of role playing practices and scenario-based learning, as well as project-based work to utilize everything that you learned in the classroom into real-world application, right? With the projects, there are homework assignments that are given, and when these homework assignments are submitted, climbers are given a $75 stipend per project submitted. As we know, time is valuable, and so we want to make sure we're compensating folks for the projects that they're turning in. Our Capstone contact tracing app was extremely crucial in our previous cohorts. As you know, with COVID, it is extremely important for folks to have contact tracing, and the ability to design an app through our Salesforce application has been a very valuable skill for a lot of our climbers. And then lastly, our social capital online events. As I talked about the community and the network and the importance of this, we host a lot of signature events where we look to just strengthen your professional network with hundreds of tech execs who believe in our program and believe in our model and are looking to meet all of the new climbers coming through our program. So again, that emphasis on social capital. And if we can go to the next slide, please. And again, I see some questions coming through on the chat. I'll go ahead and drop my personal email for folks to connect with me after the fact. And if we have some time, I'm happy to take some Q&A as well. So again, another way in which we're looking to build climbers' social capital is through our alumni. As folks come through our program, one of the cool things that we have here at Climb Higher is Climb Higher Fellows. So folks who have just completed our program, have landed a position, and want to come back as fellows to help those who came behind them, right? And the cool thing about this is that this is opportunities for folks to actually, build their confidence in seeing somebody who was just in their shoes, a couple months previous, maybe going from, a Starbucks barista to a business analyst at IBM and speaking directly to what their experience was going through the program and landing that position. And it also expands your network by allowing somebody to become a referral for you. Again, honing in on that idea of the importance of a network. These folks get to work with you in a one-on-one capacity, and you build rapport with these folks who can plug you into some of the folks that they know as well. So continue to expand upon that network. Again, part of our secret sauce, and we are working on our 4th cohort now, and just with our 3rd cohort, we had 25 fellows helping us with 80 new climbers. So really, really exciting. And as we continue to grow and continue to build, this community just gets larger and larger. And next slide. Cool. So I saw some folks in the chat asking about cost. The cool thing and unique thing about our program is that there's no cost for an applicant. There is no cost for an actual climber participant. It is not until you graduate and land a job making 45K or more that you do what we call pay it forward to the cohort coming behind you, right? So you'd be paying $150 a month for 4 years to cover the cost of $7,200 for the cohorts coming behind you. All right, so the proof is in the pudding. If you go through our organization and you do not land a position making 45K or more, you do not have to pay it forward, right? We're a results-based organization, and we want you to land that job before paying it forward. And so when we talked about, our fellowship program and how folks, do the near peer mentoring program, that is actually one of the ways that our climbers are able to reduce their pay it forward cost. Another way that they're able to reduce it is by that project submission that offered you a $75 stipend. You can waive that. And then lastly, if you refer a climber to a job, again, this idea of referring folks to opportunities, you can also reduce costs that way. So three ways in which folks are able to reduce costs, and just encouraging folks to stay in the Climb Hire community to help with our pipelines. Cool. And so the application process um, is four simple steps, but an awesome opportunity for folks to kind of get to know us as they're going through the application process. You start with a very simple application where you're filling out general information about yourself, and if invited back, you would do what we call an asynchronous video interview, right? So opportunity for you to speak to your experience, speak to who you are and why you want to get involved in Climb Hire. Excuse me. Um, and then after that, you're invited back to some Salesforce pre-work. So we want you to understand exactly what it is that you're getting into, be familiar with some of the things that we teach. And so you get a small taste of what it will be like to be in a classroom as a climber through our step 3. And then finally, you're invited back to a Climb Hire applicant workshop in which you're able to just talk about your experience through the interview process, connect with other folks in community, ask any questions that you'd like to about the program in the final stage. So four-step process to be part of our organization. Cool. And so I just wanted to put this slide here so folks can kind of get a snapshot of the success that we've had so far. There's a lot more success that I couldn't fit onto one page, but I wanted to make sure this was visible for folks. So as you're looking at, some of our climbers and the successes that they have received, I wanted to just point out a couple folks and bring to your attention. In the top left, Lucy coming in, working the night shift um, as a personal care assistant, and now as an analyst for TPG, which is one of the largest asset management companies in the country. We have Amber on the same line on the right hand side. She was working at the post office, capped out at about 50K, and thought that she wanted to kind of change careers. Came through the Climb Hire pipeline, and now actually works for our organization and works closely with myself, doing some of the alumni and climber community work. And then we have Lonnie on the bottom row left, who was a dancer and then was able to become a software engineer apprentice for IBM. So these are some of these success stories that I wanted to highlight. Obviously, everyone on this list is doing amazing things, and we have folks who are not on this list who are doing awesome things as well. But the cool thing is, as climbers achieve and land their careers at whatever company, those folks can now create a partnership and a pipeline for our current climbers coming through our learning track. And then the last slide here. So again, early success. We've been around for about 2+ years, working on our 4th cohort, but 80% of our climbers are now employed by these partners, with better.com and Google just being signed on recently. And this is just, again, a snapshot of the companies that we work with. And every day, our climbers are landing new positions with new companies that believe in our model and believe in the work that we do. So if you are interested, if anything that I said today kind of piqued your interest, we have our .com on the bottom, and then I'm also going to go ahead and input my email just so folks can reach out to me directly. But again, I appreciate everyone's time today, and thank you for letting me present.
Thank you, Aaron. Yeah, Aaron and I met with a couple of his coworkers yesterday, and they are expanding into Minnesota. So I ask all of you on the call, even if perhaps this program isn't the perfect fit for you, forward it on to someone else that in that age demographic. And Aaron, what did you say the general ages that you're looking for?
Yeah, so it's between 22 and 33. But if you
Okay.
fall outside that range, we we encourage you to still apply. That's the majority of the folks that we work with. Yeah.
Right. Great. Thank you very much for being on the call. And yes, everyone spread the word and be in touch with Erin if you're interested in getting more information. I'd like to invite Darren Boone now from Thomson Reuters to speak. Thomson Reuters is a major Minnesota
Hello.
company and has been
Hello.
around for quite a while. They have opportunities in many different areas. In the past, I've hosted some of his coworkers from the printing bindery division. Today, he's going to speak here today about technology and all of the IT positions. So take it away, Darren.
All right, thank you very much, Liz. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here. By the way, Erin, very good information there. That was pretty cool to listen to on what you're doing over there. So, anyway, I just really want to quick give a little history on Thomson Reuters and kind of talk about our culture quick, and then I'll dive more into the technology and roles and what we look for. So overall, Thomson Reuters has been in business for over 100 years. We operate in over 70 countries and employ over 24,000 people. We really provide industry-leading products and services for the legal, tax, accounting, and our corporate clients. And then most people are probably most familiar with our global news service, Reuters. So quick history lesson. So Thomson Reuters actually came to be by the merger of three major companies. So West Publishing, if you're in Minnesota, you probably remember West Publishing, Thomson Corp out of Toronto, and then Reuters out of New York. So, and then along the way, we've kind of acquired a lot of other companies to kind of help expand and enhance our products and services. You can go to the next slide. So why do people like to work here, and why do they like to stay here? And really, it is a lot of our culture. We offer a lot of different perks and allow people to really grow their skills, grow their careers, and all of this really while maintaining that good work-life balance and flexibility and work arrangements. So, here's this kind of a list of some of the kind of the perks that we offer, but did want to point out a couple of things. So we are recognized as one of the top 100 most diverse and inclusive cultures globally. And then also too, like I said, I won't go through everyone. You can read them on the slide, but did want to mention that we have a very strong and comprehensive benefit plan. And the nice thing is they start on day one. A lot of companies I know delay 30 to 60 days, but we start our benefits all on day one. And then I think another cool thing too is, besides the standard vacation plan that you'll get a lot of companies, we also offer 2 paid volunteer days off. And then we have a mental health day as well that we give everybody off, and that's paid as well. So just kind of speaks to kind of our culture and, really, that employee appreciation and taking care of our people. So really good overall culture that we provide here. Next, please. So social impact. So, really to further drive our diversity inclusion, culture, we do a lot of different things, but we have 8 employee-driven groups that help foster this environment. They're all listed right there. So we have our Asian Affinity Network, our Latino Employee Network, Black Employee Network, Veterans, Pride at Work, Disability, Early Careers, and then Women at Thomson Reuters. So really offer, really get a lot of people involved in this, and really, like I said, really helps to drive our diversity and inclusion. In addition to that, just quick little kind of record of, our success. We've been recognized by a lot of different organizations as, a best place to work, a best place for working parents, a best company for diversity. And that's just kind of to name a few. So I just put a few of those awards there, but there's quite a few more, but didn't need to go over, the whole list. So next slide, please. So what, like I said, I just kind of gave the quick overview of TR and our culture, but really technology is the driving force behind our company and helps our clients run their businesses. We work with some of the latest technology and tools in the market, and always are looking for better ways to innovate. And we really look to our people to drive that innovation. We encourage our employees to bring their thoughts and ideas forward. And I think what really, makes us unique is that we have a culture of, we don't want people to be afraid to speak up and don't want people to be afraid to fail. So if you have ideas on, whatever, it's a technology, if it's a new process, if it's whatever you think, bring those ideas and thoughts forward, because that is how we continue to grow. That's how we continue to learn. And, so example, if we bring in a new technology and, maybe it doesn't work out to what we want to do, guess what? We probably learned a lot in the process, and maybe down the road, it might fit our organization. So we really like people to be curious. We like them to be open. And I think that really resonates with our people, because then they feel valued. So most of our products are industry leading, and these are created by, these incredibly talented technology staff. And a lot of it is, like I said, bringing those thoughts and ideas forward. Next slide. So this is just a quick little snapshot of a number of roles that not only we're currently hiring for, but that we typically continue to hire, consistently hire for across the organization. This, a lot of these are very data driven, type of roles. And so like I said, so that's just kind of a snapshot. As always, you can go to our tr.com careers webpage and see all of the different positions that we hire for. And then, along these lines, some of these roles can, be more entry level. Some of them are definitely a little bit more, advanced. I mean, for example, an information architect, you usually don't just step into an architect role right out of a, a school or program, but, software engineers, and UX designers, web and mobile developers, data scientists, depending on, the level. We work a lot with, people coming out of school or intern programs, or, specific training on those skills. So there's definitely roles at all levels within those. So definitely a lot of opportunity. And then just to kind of end, here again, like I said, I was going to be brief. There's my information as well. I'll share it in the chat. Feel free to connect with me if you have any questions on anything. If you see a role that's out there that looks appealing, or just really anything, happy to help any way I can. So thanks again for having me. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes some of the questions that come up, at least in past Explore Careers sessions, is what do you look for on resumes? What kind of training, what kind of background? Is there something that Thomson Reuters values more than others? What are some tips for when people are applying to you?
Yeah, so really, obviously every role is a little bit different. So, every role has some key things that we try to, to look for. But overall, take a software engineer role. We look to see that somewhere along the lines you had, if you're coming right out of a school, what kind of projects did you work on, and then what was the technology around that project, and then what was your role? Because a lot of times you're working on a project with multiple people, and you might have maybe the front end piece of that, or maybe you're more on the database side, or maybe you did the full stack. So it's really highlighting what you did on a project, the key skills and technology that you worked with, and showing that obviously that you can you do this work and talk through it in an interview. Now when you're the less experience you have, obviously what we're not gonna we don't grill people on super high deep technology, because you probably didn't have that experience yet. But overall, it's knowing what you have worked on, presenting that to the role that is looking for those type of skills. So like I said, it's kind of hard to pinpoint all the different things, because there's a lot of different roles and a lot of different technology that go along with each of them.
And how long does the process usually take from applying on your system, on your web page, through the interview process?
Yeah, so typically we like to get through. So let's say we post a job today, we like to, start setting up interviews within a week, and then usually it goes 2 to 3 weeks beyond that. So I would say anywhere from that 3 to 4 week process from start to finish, and that's kind of the goal. I'm not saying it's perfect, not saying it's perfect every time, but that's kind of what we strive for.
Sure, sure. And then I don't know if you're able to answer this question, but say if a job seeker was thinking about going, between to two different training programs, in the Twin Cities. Does Thomson Reuters partner with any of the training programs that, if they really wanted to work at TR and they were going to get this training anyway, they should go to this one rather than that one?
Yeah, we don't necessarily really, partner, I guess. But it's interesting though. We are looking, more into that in maybe being a partner with, some of those organizations. And but really, again, really what it comes down to is kind of what did you get out of the training that you took, whether you're at, a Prime Digital or, somewhere like that. What did you really focus on, and then obviously kind of finding that related role. So that's, like I said, we don't really haven't developed like a true partnership, I guess, with those, but definitely interested in doing that if it makes sense.
Great. Great. Well, thank you so much, Darren, for being
You're
on the
welcome.
call. Having this information for the job seekers to learn about Thomson Reuters is so valuable. So thank you. And yeah, I've put the careers page in the chat. And Darren, yeah, if you share your email address, people can follow up with you if they have other questions. Thank you. Let's now move on to the University of Minnesota digital boot camps. I'm pleased to welcome Brian Torkola, who's going to talk to us a little bit about what the University of Minnesota program is like for people who are looking to get that digital experience and background.
Thanks, Liz. Hello, everyone. My name is Brian Torkola. I'm a program director at the College of Continuing and Professional Studies at the University of Minnesota that oversees the digital boot camps. As you can see in the quote, we're in the middle of an unprecedented technology transformation in how we live and work. There's a growing digital skills gap that cannot be filled only with degreed folks, as the numbers don't add up. In 2017, our college realized this, and we started with our very first coding boot camp. Fast forward to today, we have 5 different types of boot camps, and we're serving hundreds of students each year in the state of Minnesota. So what are these boot camps? Just like the name implies, our boot camps are rigorous short-term training programs that are aimed at specific employment clusters. They follow an admissions process, and we have new cohorts starting every quarter versus your typical semester schedule. Each program is 6 months in length and designed to fit in a working professional schedule with evening and weekend classes. The total commitment is 30 hours or more per week there of a student's time, and each class is held live online in a virtual Zoom classroom. The program provides students with hands-on experience and practice, as well as a professional portfolio with real examples to demonstrate proficiency. We currently have 5 different boot camps. We have full stack web development, cybersecurity, data visualization and analytics, UX, UI, and FinTech. Let's take a closer look at the typical boot camp course structure. Our instructors are current practitioners working in the field, and the class format follows this process where an instructor will lead a group discussion around just the background, technology, and type of concept they're covering. Students put the classroom teaching into practice individually or in a team to work on timed in-class exercises and projects. Outside of class, there's a significant homework between sessions to reinforce and practice learning. A major advantage of the boot camp is the practical nature of the work, as you learn by doing. And as mentioned, there are both individual exercises and projects, as well as 2 larger team projects during each boot camp. Students build their own project examples that demonstrate proficiency in their subject area. And we see more employers looking for these types of specific skill demonstrations versus relying just solely on someone's credentials. Now we want to take a look at the program support. The boot camps have unique supports to help ensure student success. All the content and practice sessions are continually updated to meet changing market demands. Each boot camp comes with a set of customizable tools, templates, and resources that are specifically tailored to each content area. There are career-related events with industry professionals, and I'll give you a couple of examples. We host Q&A sessions with current professionals, and we call them tech panels. We also do something called a demo day, which happens at the end of a boot camp experience, where students get together and share a completed final project with industry professionals for feedback in an informal setting. Each student in the boot camp has the opportunity to work one-to-one with their own career coach and become employer ready. And well, what does that mean? That means students learn to create a personal brand statement, a technical resume. They practice for behavioral interviews, develop a portfolio, GitHub, and LinkedIn profile, and learn how to network effectively in person and online. So who comes to these boot camps? Students come to the boot camps from all ages, educations, and backgrounds. We've seen everything from high schoolers to people that would be commonly referred to as retirees. Some have degrees, and in our data program, it's not uncommon to see PhDs, while others don't have any post-secondary education. It really varies. We see a diversity of student goals from the program as well, including career changers, people looking to upskill, as well as a relatively small but consistent number of entrepreneurs. Regardless of the motivation, the universal thread for all groups is to secure and advance a career. In 2020, ironically, the pandemic provided a unique one-time opportunity to help improve bootcamp access and affordability, and to create pathways for more learners to reskill, and especially the unemployed. So we reached out to the dislocated worker programs in the Twin Cities and gathered their feedback about our programs and services. And over the summer, we made changes to our website, created a 2-page dislocated worker guide, which lists everything that counselors would need, right? Like certificates, pricing, outline, and it outlines the registration process. We made adjustments to our payment process and created a monthly communication to counselors. For eligible students, we created a 24-month payment plan that has no service fees or interest, and this really helps lower the monthly payment to a more manageable amount. And last June, we created a scholarship to expand access to online bootcamp training programs for diverse candidates experiencing job loss or hardship due to COVID-19 through the end of 2020. We're currently creating another scholarship program to continue where this one left off. Through the end of the calendar year 2020, we've seen over a 35% increase in dislocated worker funding for our boot camps. We've seen over 250 students access 24-month payment plans, and we've had over 30 students receive a scholarship toward a boot camp. We're really pleased with these results, and that made the programs more accessible and affordable. And now we can move to the final slide. And here you can see a list of our boot camps, a web address for our admissions website with links to all 5 programs, my email address, and that's it. Do you have any questions?
That's great. Thank you, Brian. So how many people go through your programs annually?
Currently, our fiscal year ends on June 30th, okay? So this year we're projecting between 850 to 900 students.
That's great. Yeah, and I'm so glad to hear that you have, some of the networking events, the project demo days, the career coaching. That's really incredible. How much is the cost? Let's just lay it all out.
Yeah, sure. The boot camps range a little bit in price, but they're $10,000 to $11,000 each.
Sure. And that's pretty much in line with many of the others with the standard price.
Yep.
Um, let's see. I was just I had a question in my mind and then it escaped, but we'll just leave it at that. And I'll dig out if I can get it, or Brian, maybe you just send me the copy of the Dislocated Worker Program flyer, or send me the link. I'm not even quite sure where it is, and I'll make sure that people have a copy of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Brian, for being here. Stick around if there are any other questions coming in. I've put the bootcamp URL in the chat area, and just answer anything else. Thank you. So, last but not least, MnTech Association has been a really fantastic partner when we've been planning the Technology Workforce Month. And so glad to have Jackie Spees here today. She's one of the employees of MnTech Association. They have a job board, and she's, like me, in touch with a lot of employers across the area. So she knows who's hiring, what they're looking for, and how to use MnTech's job board to help you find your position. So, Jackie, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Liz. Really exciting to hear about all the programs going on in the Twin Cities to get people more involved in IT and technology. So I want to share a resource for after going through those boot camps or coming out of certification programs. You can definitely lean on MnTech to get you some of those connections. So if we can just go to the next slide, I just want to touch briefly on MnTech's mission. So it's to build a more vibrant and innovative and inclusive technology ecosystem in Minnesota. And so we do that in our 3 pillars. But first, I want to share some of our member companies. So on our next slide, you'll see the different member companies that partner with MnTech. So we have over 162 member companies currently, but hoping to grow more in 2021. So these are some of the companies that you'll see posted on our job board. So it is a member benefit. So people that are posting on our job board are members of MnTech, but job seekers from anywhere in the Twin Cities and in the US and anywhere can make a profile to apply. So if we head to the next slide, I'll talk quickly about our 3 pillars to get that work done. The 2 I'm going to focus on today are talent and community. So something we're really passionate about in MnTech is developing the skilled workforce that companies need to continue their business success. So there's a large gap in the tech talent space in the Twin Cities. We hear our partner companies say all the time that they're looking for more diverse talent. They're working on DE&I initiatives. They're building out their talent pipelines. So that's something that MnTech is super passionate about. And the second thing that I'm going to talk about is community. So we're really, really passionate about bringing people together. So whether you're early in your technology journey or later in your journey, we really want to provide meaningful ways for you to engage. So the next slide talks a little bit about talent. And the main thing I'm going to talk about today, like Liz said, is our job board. So stay tuned on how to create a profile for that. But the next page is all about our MnTech communities. So if we can go to the next slide, we've got 6 communities at MnTech currently. So these are spaces, they're free to attend. I'll drop in the chat how you can submit a form to be included on these community events, but they happen at a bi-monthly cadence. And they're really to talk through different technology topics. They're a great way to network and meet new people. So our first speaker, I believe it was Aaron, talked about how it's all about who you know. And so if you want to go to these events, it's a great space to meet new people. Tech Careers 1.0, I'll point out, is for early stage technologists, 0 to 7 years in their technology careers. So that's a really great way to meet people who are similarly early in their technology journey. Another great one is Women Leading in Technology, if you're looking for more women who are in the technology space. But like I said, all these events are free, and they're all virtual currently. So check out our website if you want to see which events are upcoming. And if we can go to the next slide, I'll talk about how you can get started using our job board. So our job board launched today, actually, which is really exciting. And in order for it to be successful, we need great job postings, but we also need awesome job seekers like yourselves who are going to be looking at jobs on that board. So on the next page, I'll talk about how you can get started. And I'm going to put the link in the chat to the job board website. So you can sign in with your LinkedIn account if you have one. You can also sign in and make your own username using your email. So some of the reasons why you're going to want to create a profile is because you can set up job alerts using specific keywords. So if you are looking for only engineer postings, you can set up an alert and the job board will alert you when any engineering openings come up. The second reason why you want to do that is because employers can actually view your profile if you set it to public. So there's an option to have a private profile if you just want to be looking at job openings. But if you want employers to view your resume, your certifications, and your other employment history, then you can have your profile be public and they can be browsing through to see who's currently searching for work. You can also view other job seekers' profiles. Maybe you can make some connections that way. And like I said, if you don't want anyone to see your information, you can set it to private. It's automatically set to private, so you want to turn that to public if you do want people to be able to view that. And we can head to the next slide. So some of the information that you'll be filling out when you create your profile is a short bio about what you're looking for. You can add your social media handles if you have a website, if you have a LinkedIn, if you have a professional Twitter or Instagram. You can upload all your employment and education history, and you can also add your resume and any additional skills or certifications that you feel like are relevant for employers to see. You can add those there. And then if we can head to the next slide, I'll show you what it will look like if your profile is public. So these three here are examples of what it looks like if your profile is visible to other people. So if you're open to remote work, if you're open to relocate, you can choose those things. As you can see, recruiting director, talent sourcer, people have listed their roles, and if they're currently employed, they're listing where they're currently employed. And then the next slide is actually an example. If someone were to click on your profile, this is what it would look like. It will put up your picture, your background, job experience, and education, etc. And the last slide is how you actually view jobs or use our job board. So there's two big ways that you're going to want to utilize the job board. The first is searching current openings. So on the left is a screen grab of what it looks like for our current openings. We currently have over 100 jobs posted. So if you want to go on and search those, you can feel free to do that. And also don't forget to set up a job alert. So if you go to your account settings, you can set up a job alert using keywords. And this is the best way to get the most up-to-date information on who's hiring in what spaces. So this is a really great place to go if you're looking for a job in technology. Like I said, utilize our communities to meet new people as well. We can move to the last slide. All my information is there. Feel free to add me on LinkedIn, take my email address. I'd love to chat. If you know companies that are hiring, that are MnTech members, they can utilize the job board to post. But my main plug here is for all of you job seekers to go in and create a profile and use that to search current openings in the Twin Cities. We also have postings that are outside of the Twin Cities, but I'd say the majority of them are located in Minneapolis and St. Paul or the surrounding suburbs.
Thank you, Jackie. Yeah,
Yeah.
this looks great. And even when you and I talked earlier, I didn't realize that a person can join with their LinkedIn profile and then connect those. That's fantastic. I know it's brand new. Have you had a sense yet of what companies are looking for? What are your tips that you've seen from working at MnTech, for job seekers to get into the industry?
Yeah, I think that companies are definitely trending towards going away from being strict on 4-year degrees and you had to have graduated from this school with this certain thing. So I would say for people to just be more bold and definitely like go for job postings maybe you wouldn't normally go for. My other piece of advice really is about networking. I think a lot of events at MnTech are a great place to meet people who have recently been hired or who are also looking. So ask around, like, what's worked for people? Are there certain certifications that make you stand out? And definitely like edit your resume over and over again for all the different things you're applying for. For me, every single time I applied for a job, I redid my resume to match the job posting. But employers really are looking for diversity and building out those pipelines. So take advantage of internship opportunities and any type of networking things you find through all the cool programs that are going on in the Twin Cities.
And I know one issue that has come up is the issue of age. When we think about diversity, age is also present, in some of these. Um, what what it, what have you seen from employers? How are they approaching diversity in all forms, including maybe hiring a person in their mid 50s who wants a late in life career change?
Yeah, I would say like we've seen it very popular in our Tech Careers 1.0. I think initially when I came in, I was thinking that would be a lot of younger people fresh out of boot camps, but it's actually a really good mix and probably tends more towards people that are later in life who weren't sure what they wanted to do and they're making a career change. So I would say I mean, it's never too late to change your career. I'm not in hiring specifically, so I can't speak to different practices that people have about age diversity, but I would say I've seen it a lot that people are older and they're switching career paths. So it's not out of the question or out of the ordinary.
Sure. And then has MinTech been having other webinars for job seekers? I don't know you talked about some of the other affinity groups, and networking groups. What other webinars have been taking place?
Yeah, so we mainly focus on those communities of interest and peer forums. We do have a pair programming event on this Thursday that is for engineers who want to pair program with more senior level engineers. We did a Tech Around the World event in March, which was basically like interviewing people from 6 different sectors from the cloud, infrastructure, advanced technology, data to talk about like what does it take to break out into the industry. What advice do you have for people who don't have 4-year degrees? Where can I go to get certifications? So we do have the PowerPoint from that. So if that's something people are interested in, definitely email me for that. But upcoming, we're also going to be like having different events like that. In May, we're having an event to talk about like how do you build your resume and how do you track your performance so that you can really sell yourself in job interviews and at your annual review. So we do have stuff like that happening, and that will be upcoming too in 2021.
And then do job seekers have to purchase a membership? You
Nope,
know,
you don't. It's free. The events are free, and to use our job board is free as well.
okay. This is fantastic information. And like I said, CareerForce is so grateful to MinTech Association for all of the partnership that their CEO and all of the staff have given us as we've planned this. So thank you, Jackie, and thank your staff for us.
Yeah, thanks, Liz. You're doing great work.
I want to point out one other success story that we've had at CareerForce. Again, you can find this on our blog. This is the story of Kevin, who had always hoped to find a technology-related job. And a number of years ago, a counselor suggested that he look for a position at the state of Minnesota using what we call, or HR calls, the Connect 700 program, which allows people with disabilities who want to work in the state government to try it out for 700 hours and then kind of apply at that point. He put it to the back of his mind for a while. He worked at Best Buy. And then all of a sudden, a couple years later, he noticed a position within Minnesota's IT department. And so he decided at that point to apply, look into the Connect 700 program, sent in his application for it through that program. They accepted his C700 tryout probationary period, and after the required 700 hours, they determined that it was a good match. So then Kevin was hired and is now a full-time employee at Minute. You can read the entire story on careerforcemns.com's blog. So this and Bruno that I mentioned earlier are all ways of helping people find jobs like this. If you ever find a job or find your next path as a result of someone in CareerForce, you can submit a success story and then our communications team will be in touch with you to get permission to use that. So please be in touch with all of us. You know, I mentioned minnesotaworks.net, and again, I took a look this morning at some of the other positions in other companies. So I typed in some of those keywords: IT support, coding, tech help. Clifton Larson Allen is an accounting financial firm, but I noticed this morning and last night that they have a number of technology related positions. And they've got a lot of good career pathway entry points in. So if you're interested in that combination between the financial systems and technology, take a look at Clifton Larson Allen. Genesis 10 is a partner with MinTech and has been on some of our virtual career fairs in the past. They've got openings as well as so many other places. We still have a couple of tech-oriented events coming up in the next week before the end of the month. Tomorrow on Facebook Live event, there's going to be a conversation about BIPOC in tech, Black, Indigenous, people of color in the technology workforce area. I'm not in charge of that, so I don't know exactly what the conversation will be about, but you can all go on to Facebook and it's the public, so I don't think you need a Facebook account if you don't have one, and view it there. There's some other events on the 22nd, Get Skilled for a New Career in IT. Also at the same time, at the very same time by two different hosts, Career Pathways for Women in Tech. And then next week, our Explore Tech Careers, the final session in the 4 weeks in a row. But also on the 27th in the morning, 7:30 a.m., Jeff Tollefson, President and CEO of the Minnesota Technology Association, will be giving a keynote address. And then starting at 8:15, guests are welcome to meet via the Easy Virtual Fair platform to look for jobs. So it's a job fair hiring event. You can register on the Metro Region Interactive site, and I'll put that in the chat and I'll send that out to you later. Again, just remember on the Tech Month page, there are a lot of resources, the short-term IT training list, and others. So glad to have you on the call today. Please let us help you in your job search, whether figuring out whether you're eligible for dislocated worker program or looking at your resume or helping you navigate Minnesota Works, whatever the question might be. You can always contact me. My email is liz.jennings@state.mn.us. I'm going to type that into the chat. And I will be sending out this recording and the slides to all of you probably tomorrow morning after it's posted onto YouTube. So thanks for being here. Go ahead and register for next week, and I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.